Hi, my name is Kristen Ulmer. I'm a fear and anxiety expert and author of The Art of Fear. Now, let's talk about coronavirus. During these times, fear is definitely a part of our lives in a bigger way. And how you deal with it 100% determines whether or not you handle the situation well or it turns into a shit show for you and the people around you. Given this, I'll first outline numerous ways in which people are currently dealing with their fear. See if you can recognize yourself in this list. Then I'm going to give you pointers on how to deal with it in the best possible way so you can handle this extremely bizarre time with some more grace. Let's start here. Fear is an emotion proven by science that first shows up in your body in the form of physical discomfort. In our society, we have unfortunately not been given the tools to deal with it in an honest way. We've been taught to ignore it, hide it, avoid it, control it, manage it. We're told that it's not even real. And the big one, we're taught to conquer or overcome it, which suggests a war. All of this I call the Great Resistance. Such resistance has led to us being at war with ourselves at our core. And as a result, we try to drink our fear away, take pills, smoke pot to not deal with it, eat food whenever it shows up, be in our heads all the time so we don't have to feel it in our bodies, and on, even Netflix binge watching. And hey, I get it. Fear being such a huge part of our human experience, sometimes we just need a break. Currently, the big push is trying to replace your fear with calm or love. But make no mistake, this is just more resistance. It's actually called spiritual bypassing, and we make fun of it on sitcoms. It may make you feel better for a moment, but we laugh because we know long-term it doesn't work. Eventually, that undealt with fear shows up again, exaggerated now, in one way or another. Now, during these times of elevated fear then, even if you don't engage in any of the behaviors I just outlined, know that any form of resistance can cause a few problems. For example, if you have a tendency to ignore your fear, then you ignore the coronavirus and you go out and live your life like normal, putting everybody at risk. If you try to control your fear, you will feel out of control because you can't actually control it or much of anything for that matter on this crazy ride called life. In attempts to gain control, though, this shows up perhaps as OCD, where you try to control at least one aspect of your life, or it shows up externally in your attempts to control other people, often by reprimanding them for their choices. Basically, by not dealing with your crap, you throw it at other people and make them deal with it on your behalf. The list goes on. And reminder, fear is not causing these issues. It's your resistance to fear that causes these issues. If you try to get rid of it, including rationalizing it away, breathing exercises, I want you to see it like water that's supposed to flow into, in its own pace, through and out of your body. Next thing you know, you've disrupted that system, your fear gets disoriented and trapped and starts recirculating round and round as anxiety. If you numb away fear with pills, pot, alcohol, food, binge watching Netflix, there are consequences for that, including missing the opportunity that has presented itself during these coronavirus times, which I'll outline next. Bottom line, in order for this to be an emotionally healthy time for you and for us all, here's what I suggest. It's a practice that I recommend you do every day. I want you to close your eyes right now. Find that feeling of fear in your body. If it's in your thoughts, that means it has hijacked your mind in order to get your attention. So for me, it usually shows up either in my thoughts or in my throat or in my solar plexus. So I want you to touch that part of you and see it as a person, maybe a child in your life who's trying to get your attention. And ask yourself a few questions. What's my relationship with this child? Do I judge it as bad? Do I ignore it? Am I trying to use my mind like a sword to fight or control it? Am I staying in my own lane with it, or am I making others deal with it? Next, ask yourself this. Can I learn, starting today, how to have an honest relationship with it instead, maybe for the first time in my life? If the answer is yes, here's where this practice gets really interesting. Embrace that feeling for at least 1 minute, just like you might embrace an upset child. Do this until that child feels heard and considered and calms right down. I recommend this as a daily practice, maybe one you do with your friends or as an ongoing way to deal with fear that will always be a part of your life, not just right now. And let's say you have fear about money or financial ruin right now. Take it a step further. There's a saying in Zen, a good horse moves at even the crack of a whip. Learn how to notice the energy and tap into the wisdom found in your fear and how it gets you to tap into your intuition and make a certain plan. I think you're getting it now that I don't see fear as a problem to be solved, but rather a resource to be tapped into. This is the practice that I do, and I do a lot of scary stuff. So, moving on. Let's say you're fighting with someone, maybe someone who you're isolating with right now. So sit down, make it a ritual. Speak one at a time all that you're afraid of. Just go back and forth on this. And then watch as maybe even a decades-long fight can now start to be addressed and even resolved. So here's the conclusion. Your relationship with fear will never be as obvious as it is right now. So try something new this time. Don't try to get rid of it. Instead, embrace it. Have respect for it. Juice its wisdom like an orange. Not only will you feel better and act with integrity, you'll also then have consideration for other people's fear. We're all in this together after all. There's fear everywhere, and you are supposed to be feeling it. This may be totally new. This is very cutting edge. If you need more help though, just keep checking back here. I'm going to post a lot more information to help you in your journey during these difficult times. But before we say goodbye, finally, make sure you remember the coronavirus is the problem to be solved and not the fear. If you're in flow with fear, it's not a problem, but instead a resource to be tapped into. And while I don't expect everyone to suddenly have a healthy flowing relationship with fear, especially given our social conditioning, this is at least the huge opportunity you have right now, should you decide to take it. Not only will this practice I outlined help you through these times with grace, but once the coronavirus is passed, the bonus is any anxiety issues you already faced before won't be worse afterwards as an unnecessary souvenir.